I want to talk about forgiveness. I have food in my mouth. I do apologize. But I want to talk about forgiveness. I want to talk about how the importance of forgiving our shadows, our shadow self, the side of us that is dark, the side of us that we don't want anybody to see, the side we cover up, the side we pretend doesn't exist or never existed. Long time ago, when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, when all this stuff, when I was coming up in the world, I did a lot of crazy things. I feel like it's kind of normal, be a teenager or whatever, to do some not so okay things. But I will say that when I was a teenager, I did some things that made me feel extremely guilty, that built a lot of shame, created shame, I would say, because of who I was. I was a young girl who was lost. I didn't have much direction, didn't have much guidance. I battled with authority. And I was called a lot of names, labeled a lot of things growing up, was hated, was rejected, was left. And when you grow up that way, you begin to believe it. You begin to believe that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve certain things in your life. And everything becomes a sort of fight to be good, to be all the things that you were told you were, to not believe all the things that you told yourself you were. So when you get to be an adult and you live in a way that it goes against your sort of inner calling, and that means just basically like in something inside you tells you that your belief system is wrong. Something inside you tells you that everybody else is wrong. And you need to do something about that. So I am on a journey to forgive myself, be ultimately vulnerable with all the things and feelings that I feel about myself and my surroundings and all the things that help me be me. And so what I'm trying to say is, you can run from who you are. You can try. But what is life giving you? What is life showing you? If life is constantly smacking you in the face and showing up for you, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's time to make a change. It's time to do things different than you've ever done before. And one way that I want to change and do things differently is to halt the belief pattern that I'm unworthy. To knock that bitch out. Say, no, I love you. I love the teenager Melissa. I love the Melissa in her 20s that was so lost and had a baby at 20. Didn't know how to love herself, but knew how she wanted to be loved, and then loved her baby that way. And in loving her baby the way she wanted to be loved, she created a codependent child. So when people say heal before you have children, heal those negative patterns, heal the familial. That's a new word I learned, by the way. I like it. Heal those familial patterns, that historical trauma. Heal that. Address it. Because if you don't address it and you run away from it, you're going to see those things presented to you in different forms. Whether that be your circumstances, whether that be your mate, your partner, whether that be your children. Because believe it or not, your children are a mirror to how you feel. If your children are out of control, if your children are sad, if your children are insecure, 9 times out of 10, you are those things as well. Sit with that. Really address it, because it is real. It's the realest thing that you've ever heard today. Trust it. It's real. So with all this knowledge that I've been gifted, and trust me, it's a gift, to be presented with things that we need to correct. Because in order to ascend after our bodies have perished, we need to be at peace with our past. And past can be however old you are or hundreds of years in your past. We need to heal from those things. And as my friend says, we need to learn to die well. So I hope anyone who's watching this can take from this vulnerability, this realness that I'm showing you. Take from this as address your shit. Address it. Don't be afraid of it. Let's all live better so we can die well.